Hello and welcome to episode number 7 of the Joey Moments podcast. My name is Joey. I have Joey Moments, and I'm joined this week by yet another Hayes.
How's it going? I'm Jacob, whatever. Chris's brother. You probably saw Chris, 2 weeks ago now?
Last week. It was this past week.
Damn, yeah. Time's flying. Wait, no. Time's going slow. Stuck in another dimension.
Yeah, something like that. You're stuck somewhere.
Yeah, so what's going on?
Well, not a whole lot. You've been busy. It's been a while. We normally hang out a little bit more frequently.
Bunch of shit to do.
Yeah, you've been busy. So this is the first time
kids.
I think. Woof. Yeah. No, that's true. There's been a lot of job stuff and then stuff with the kids. You said the kids were being iffy this morning.
Oh yeah.
You were hoping for nap time.
Oh, that goes away after they start talking. When they start talking, no more naps.
Yeah. So how's that been? You've been dad for 3 years now. Or wait, 3 or 2? 3.
3.
3. Yeah,
3
you've
years.
been dad for 3.
Yeah. It's been a lot to process. I mean, being a dad, probably one of the greatest things you can do in life. There's obviously going to be days where you love it, and then there's days where you're like, this is awesome.
Uh-huh.
And, it's just part of life. But, again, parenting, wonderful. I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world. Definitely kept me out of jail, to say the least.
It got you to calm down a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean...
Not saying I used to party, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I absolutely get it. And you had a little rough spot when you came back.
Oh, yeah, from the military.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another thing. Military, dude. I won't talk bad on the United States government. Heaven forbid. But the military, it's not for everyone. It definitely takes a lot to, serve and protect.
Yeah. Plus, it probably just feels like you're a cog in a machine. Not a whole lot of care for you.
Your number gets drawn. That's where you're going, type deal. I mean, everybody's got their reason behind joining the military. Mine was not for the right reason.
You learned, you got out.
And now
you've got a beautiful little family.
Yeah, and joining the casino business. Another cult. No.
Well, it's definitely something. It's either something you do for like a year or two and you get out, or you do it for life. It's very similar to the military.
You got the people that have been there since day one opening, and some people, they're there for a week and that's it because they can't handle alcoholics and
it's a very
screaming and yelling.
It's a very rough industry to work in. So I dealt as a craps dealer. For reference, I was a craps dealer at for a year.
Yep.
Give or take, just a little under. Actually, no, I think it was about 8 months because it was COVID.
Pre-COVID. No.
Yeah, it was pre-COVID. So that was my last job pre and post. It was my last job pre-COVID, first job post-COVID, because I went back, and so it was an experience, and the company was actually great to work for.
Right.
Like working for casinos, they typically will give you a lot of benefits.
Right.
And so, really great company. I enjoyed working for them. I left on my own terms. There were no, it wasn't bad. It was just I wanted something more consistent.
Right.
Because sometimes working at the casino is not a consistent gig at all. Sometimes it is very, very dry.
Oh, yeah. And I would hate to say that, it all runs off of our state's economy or our county's economy, but it really does. I mean, you'd be surprised to see how much money goes in and out of the casino.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, even just working there, You will see people, from the people who can absolutely afford to be at the table all night to the people who should not even be looking at a craps table.
Correct.
And the people who should not even be looking at the table, they lose the most.
Yep. And sometimes, there was always a soft spot in my heart when it came down to dealing, because you'd be able to tell the people that could be there and shouldn't be there. Well, sometimes the people that shouldn't be there, they get to win, and that's a good feeling. But I don't know, taking money from people, it's just my happiness, I guess.
That's fair. Dealing craps was a mix of emotions. I always liked being on stick.
Oh
So
yeah.
for people who don't gamble or don't go to casinos, craps, you throw dice. Numbers are important. I'm not going to break down the rules because that would be its own podcast.
7, 7, 7.
And essentially, stick person is the person who has a giant wooden stick. They just move the dice across the table. They keep the pace of the game. It's like the most important dealer spot as far as like keeping the flow of that game going. You get to have a lot of fun because you get to shit talk, and you get to just enjoy the game. You get to, every time you call a number, you can have little fun,
Say
fun
whatever
little
you
sayings.
want with the number, as long as the number comes first, and
Yep. I got in trouble actually working on craps because I used a stick call that was a little inappropriate, and they taught us it in class.
there's a few of them that I know.
There's some funny ones. Like
Like the two down outside.
yeah, I've heard that one, and
It's-
then the AC Doocy. Her name is Lucy.
Yep.
Yep, that one's the one I got in trouble on.
Casino's a fun time though.
It is. It's a very fun time. Obviously, gambling can be addictive,
Oh yeah.
but
1-800-bets off.
1-800-bets off.
Remember, if you have a problem, reach out. There is help.
He is true. He's right. For me, it was more fun to deal than it was to play. So having played craps outside of being a dealer, I've enjoyed dealing more than playing.
Oh dude, I love playing.
Oh, I know you do.
I'll play all night long.
No, playing's fun, but like the thing that I enjoyed about dealing was it was like playing both extra steps. Working on the craps table, especially when you have players who are betting for you, who are giving you bets, who give you free control, you end up playing craps. You just don't ever throw the dice.
In a sense, yeah. Oh, heaven forbid throwing the dice. I am not good with them two things.
The dice, every time I've gone to the casino and I've played craps, I've been in the hot seat. It's been great. I've had nice long runs, but by the time you're done and the run's finally over, the thing that always sucks, and I don't believe in superstitions, but craps is like this different beast, right? Like I've dealt, and they tell you about all the superstitions. I don't know what it is about craps, but everything they tell you that like it's just superstition. It's always true with craps.
Oh, absolutely.
People buying in the middle of the roll. Me and Z were at the casino in Kansas City when we went up to Comic-Con, and I'm sitting there playing craps. I'm rolling the dice, and a guy comes in. I have bets across the board. I probably have like $200 bet. It's like the most I'd bet the entire night.
Right.
Guy comes in, buys in the middle of the roll. I take everything down. I was like, nope. And what happened? I threw a 7.
Oof. Yep.
Instantly.
And everybody has their secret mojo going into the casino. I mean, it's not just table games. You got people at the slot machines slapping the slot machines, kissing the slot machines, doing their own little thing, and it all comes down to luck.
No, it's absolutely what it
A
is.
4-letter word, LUCK.
Yep.
And I don't know. The casino's both a good and a bad thing, and there's a lot of good and bad things in this world.
Casino. It's just like any other vice. It's addictive. It's fun, but if you can do it in moderation, it's fine. Like the thing I always do is I take money to the casino that I don't like. It's money that I'm planning on spending. I don't look at it like I'm gonna go to the casino and I'm gonna bet $200. I go and I'm gonna spend $200. I anticipate that I'm gonna leave the casino without that 200.
I don't know. I'm an always up man. I
Yeah.
go in the casino with $100. I'm leaving with 1,000 or sad. Two options.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I just don't play like that. I always imagine it as I'm spending it. I'm paying $200 to have a good time. If I leave with money, perfect. That's awesome. That's even better. But if I don't, I got to play craps for a couple hours. I had fun, or I played some blackjack, whatever. Last time we went, I did leave up. I almost doubled my money,
You were
which was
happy.
nice.
But
But I also made, granted, I doubled my money. I went from like 200 to 400. But still, I made $200 last on a craps table like 4 hours,
all right,
which that's impressive.
so let's go down this whole money concept. You know, if I handed you $1 right now, right? That dollar is only $1 because you and I said so. You ever think about that?
That money's a concept that someone could theoretically just think doesn't exist anymore.
That
Yeah.
this piece of paper, oh, not that one. That was my social security card. Can't show that. This dollar, this American dollar.
For audio listeners, he pulled $1 out of his wallet.
Oh, yeah. Here.
He actually, yeah,
That's
that's
a
the
dollar.
sound of a crisp single dollar bill.
And it's crazy that, you know, because before the casino, I worked in the fast food industry.
Hmm.
They don't accept any bills larger than $20 bills.
Yeah, it's pretty common for a lot of restaurants because you don't want to get robbed. Because that's a really common tactic is to give someone $100 bill. They have to break it. Like there's no case scenario where the register is not open for a lot longer than breaking a 20. So then when the register is open because they're breaking 100, then that's when they hold you up. That's why, by the way, if you didn't know the reasoning for it.
Well, that and nobody really has cash anymore.
No, nobody carries cash.
And
I don't. I think there'll be so on my paycheck, there'll be a couple times where I'll pull out some cash just to have cash on me. Like I'll say, like especially because I go out to eat for lunch a lot,
Right.
so I'll pull out like $150 and I'll set that in my wallet and I'll go, okay, that's my eating out money for the pay period. That I can spend $150 going out to eat. Once it's gone, it's gone. I can't go out to eat anymore.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing with money that I was going down is how everybody's going to having all their money sitting on their phone, sitting in, you know, bank accounts, debit cards, yada yada yada.
Mhm.
Like there was one of my coworkers, he had 25 cards, like between debit cards and credit cards.
It's a dangerous game to get into.
Dude had like 8 credit cards. I,
My question is, so, and I've had this happen at work recently. Someone came in to pay for something, and I work in an industry. I work in IT. Me and Chris talked about that last week. I work in IT. I work in the fix-it business.
Right.
So fixing things is not inherently cheap.
no, absolutely.
So
not.
the guy comes to pay for what we fixed, and I'm like, okay, it's going to be X amount of dollars. Nice like 4 or 5 digit number.
Right.
And he's like, okay, grabs his phone to pay. And I'm like, yeah, our Apple Pay sensor's not working. We're switching point of sales and the one that we have isn't working for that. So I got to take a physical card. I don't carry cards out with me. I'll have to go home and grab it. And I'm just like, okay. And he's like, yeah, that's like an hour drive. Like I won't be back today. And I was like, that's tough. Why would you not carry around your actual debit card with you?
That's the world
Why
we're going
why would
to.
that like I love Apple Pay. I think Apple Pay is so convenient at a fast food restaurant. Like if I'm in the drive-through, it's great. I don't have to pull my wallet out anymore. But my wallet's always on me. Like I will never not have my debit card on my person.
Right.
Why would you just have your phone? Like you already have to carry your wallet around with you anyway for your driver's license.
Right.
Why would you not just carry the rest of it with you? It's just, like there's like places like Walmart. Like, what happens if like you decide that, oh, you need to go to Walmart? There's no tap to pay at Walmart.
No.
You either have to pay in the Walmart app.
Online grocery.
Yeah, the people do all that, and I think Walmart has a way now where you pay for it on
Like
your
a
phone, like you scan it as you go.
yeah.
I know Sam's Club does, so I'd imagine Walmart does since they're the same company. It's you scan as you go. You can pay with Apple Pay on your phone, like you pay through in the app,
But getting rid of
and
that
then
whole human interaction.
well, I mean, you just go through self checkout because all you still have to go and get that barcode. So the way it works is you scan it as you go,
Yeah.
then you pay for it, and you still have to go to a register to get the physical receipt. So you scan the barcode that it gives you afterwards, and it prints off the receipt for you.
So fancy.
Yeah, but it's like, even that, like, if you wanted to go to Walmart or Sam's Club, you'd have to have that app. If you don't have it, you have to go through that process. What if it asks you for your credit card number and you don't remember it because and that not everyone remembers numbers like that. And then you're just like, well, shit, now I don't have my debit card or access to it. Like, that's just stupid to me.
I mean, hopefully soon they'll probably go to definitely an easier process of that, and I feel like, soon enough. I think it would be cool if you went to a place and you kind of started like an account, like a tab almost. So,
You want to put your groceries on a tab? Oh man, that's
but not like in the sense of, oh, I'll pay for this later. In a sense of, you just scan a card, like a ID badge or some type of
and
stuff.
it's just constantly billing it.
And
So like the way you were talking about the casino earlier, for employees, you get a swipe card.
Yep.
You have to put money on the swipe card, but you go everything in the employee dining room, the EDR,
Yep.
is that you can't swipe with your debit card. You have to swipe with the employee swipe card.
In a sense, kind of like that.
Okay,
It just, I mean,
so like a debit card. What you're describing is a debit card. Your money is all in one place. You go and it bills that instead of you having cash in your pocket. You've described a debit card, Jake.
yes, but you could access it from your phone. That's what I was.
So like Apple Pay.
Sure.
Oh my fucking god.
In a sense, we went full circle. We always go full circle.
I guess this is a really good insight. This is how our conversations go. Like
It never makes sense.
this is not a skit. This is not ironic. Every time me and Jake are together, this is how our conversations go. We just sit in a circle and loop through conversations.
It's never ending sometimes.
No, never ending. But we do have a beer to drink, and we will talk about that here after the brief break. All right, and we are back,
Welcome.
and we are drinking Coors Banquet today.
Golden.
Golden Banquet.
Golden.
I guess there's a difference. I don't like Coors in general. I don't actually think I've really tried Banquet more than like when I'm already drunk, so I don't know how it tastes.
I mean, Coors has always been kind of hard for me because, growing up prior to the military, huge Budweiser guy. You remember those days?
I remember the Bud Heavy days.
It was just straight heavy beer after heavy beer. And I've weaned away from my heavy beers. I personally cannot drink Budweiser anymore. I take a sip and it's game over. But like I know this is gonna hurt some people in the audience, but like PBR, I'm not a fan.
No.
Favorite beer? Mick Ultra. Sorry.
Mick Ultra is a very easy beer to drink.
Well, of course. Once I drink like 12, 13, 16, 30, it's not too bad.
That's true. The Coors Banquet, it has an interesting flavor to it. I'd definitely say it just tastes like watered down Coors. Like
It's got like a weird aftertaste, almost like a starchy wheat.
It's something. It's not bad. I will say this. I think I like this better than Coors Light.
Oh, yep.
But
Coors Light is nasty.
it's gross. I am not a fan of Coors Light. I could drink a Coors Banquet. I would say that. I would say of all the beers we've had so far, we've had PBR, Sapporo, Heineken, and then we've had this. The other two drinks were not beer, so I'm not going to compare them. I would say this is probably
Better than Heineken?
It's better than Heineken.
All right.
I think
You
I
heard
have
it here first.
I think I have a preference to this over Sapporo. Not saying that this is a better beer. Just Sapporo is a beer I have to drink with food. I could drink this without food.
And
PBR I think is still a better beer, but not by a whole lot.
the difference with this and other beers, it's not like something that I can sit, drink, sit, drink, sit, drink. It's more of a drink, relax, drink. I could not chug this. Absolutely not.
No, this is not a chuggable beer. I know which beers are chuggable. This is not one of them.
And that's why they put it in a glass bottle, so you can't shotgun it. You can't.
Shotgunning such an experience.
It is.
That's like one of my favorite parts of the Ozarks is getting there and then immediately shotgunning beer.
See, after my experience in the mountains, shotgunning that beer, I mean, I guess somewhere in my head I didn't put the puzzle piece of altitude into shotgunning a beer. I didn't realize that can was going to be so pressurized. The second I popped the hole, the entire beer was all over me.
It was so funny. I think we have a video of that.
There's definitely a few pictures and videos of that.
I'll have to go find them. That way I can put them on the website this week. I think I know who has them. I think they're all on a Google Drive, so I should be able to go grab them.
That was an experience.
That Colorado trip was so much fun. And that was the first time me and you really just hung out together without like another person being like a mediator.
Right. We were there, 4 days?
I think we were there 4 days.
That had to be some of the longest 4 days of my life. And, I'm very thankful for it. We got the chance to kind of hike the mountain by our property.
Yeah, I did not do the hike that day. I looked at it, like I looked at just the beginning of the path, and I'm a bigger guy. I'm not in the best of shape right now, and I'm aware of that. I accept it. I know that that's where I'm at, and that's cool. I knew if I went on that hike, I would be dead. There would have been no coming back from that. It would have been the way you're getting me out of this mountain is by rolling me down the side of it.
The slope was kind of at like I'd say probably like 130-degree slope. It was just straight.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I'm good. I enjoyed. Well, you guys did that. Was that the second to last day?
Yes.
That was the second to last day. I think I spent the entire time in the hot tub.
The hot tub was nice. And again, altitude plays an effect with the hot tub. Altitude plays an effect in a lot of things. But like with the hot tub, I could only be in there for like 15 minutes, or else I sweat off maybe 30 pounds of that trip.
It was so nice. I would sit out there. We smoked so much tobacco there. We went through, I think, an entire container of tobacco for the hookah, because we would pack a hookah. Or I would, not we. I would pack the hookah,
sit next to the hot tub.
I would just go light the coals, and I would just sit and smoke the entire hookah by myself in the hot tub, just looking off into the mountains, down the mountain with the snow, and listening to music. Oh, I was vibing. It was the time of my life. I would do that vacation the same way we did it. I would do that every year. Well, I think that would be, if you had to have like the winter equivalent of an Ozarks trip.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
Maybe we should put that into the talks. Maybe like 2 vacations a year. That's not going to hurt anybody. This one might just be a little more pricey.
This one is definitely more expensive. But, however, this time, I think if I were to do this like an Ozarks trip, it would be the same mentality. I don't need to go into town every time we go to Colorado Springs. Granted, would I like to? Probably. Oh, yeah. Would I still do an actual Colorado Springs day? Yes, I think I would. But I think an ideal version of that trip, as far as like comparing it to the Ozarks, definitely gonna fly. I'm not driving that again.
You didn't like
that was miserable. And if I'm driving, it's me and like a comfortable amount of people. I will not be pressed 3 people in the back seat again. I would rather fly.
However, that's part of the fun of the road trip, though.
You're right.
That's the road tripping experience.
I would also be fine taking the train. like taking an Amtrak.
Maybe if we had a bullet train.
Oh, if we had a bullet train, that would absolutely be the way I'd get everywhere. You would not get me in a car, and you would not get me in a plane.
Just bullet train
Everywhere, anywhere I could go, I would go via bullet train.
See,
Especially because I think if we had a bullet train, I think it would take like to get from here to Denver. I think would be like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
that wouldn't be bad.
No, that makes it a weekend trip.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
makes it like I'm gonna take off.
Maybe Monday.
Maybe Monday.
Go
And I'm
Friday
gonna
after
go
work.
Friday after work, go through the weekend, come back Monday morning. You could theoretically actually go to work Monday and have left Colorado Monday morning.
So do you think there would be, like, I know jet lag. Would there be kind of like a train lag? Would you kind of be on
Well, jet lag's typically a lot of it's the traveling, like how
Right.
long it takes. The train's only like it's like if you were to get on a domestic flight and go to say Denver. It's like a 2.5 hour flight, I think. So 2.5 hour flight, you're not going to have jet lag. The jet lag would be if you had to travel all day. It's like when you have your layovers, you're stuck in different cities all day. By the time you've flown realistically in the air, you've done like 4 hours, but you've been traveling for like a day. So like when we go to Japan, there's going to be some jet lag because we will have been traveling for well over 24 hours at this point. By the time you actually land in Japan.
We need to invent kind of like a fast travel. Now
Yeah.
imagine that when
Yeah,
we could
you got to get your flight paths.
we could like departicleize ourselves. if
Also, like
that's
Star Trek. So you're talking like dematerialization.
Yeah.
Like beam me up, Scotty. Except instead of beam me up, it's like, hey, beam me to Tokyo, Scotty.
Right. You could be
Okay.
there, flash the light. And, do I think that's possible? Absolutely not.
I don't trust anyone to take apart my body and dissolve it into its core
And
elements.
Put it back together.
Yep, nope, I'm good. I could watch someone do it a million times. I could have someone tell me it has a 0% fail rate. Not happening. Nope. I refuse to become atoms and get put back together because I guarantee you lose something.
I mean,
There's already enough loose bolts up here. I don't need it to be any worse.
if you lose a few inches here, gain a few inches here, what's the big deal?
I don't think I can afford to lose any inches. God.
I mean, okay, so I would love like time travel. Time travel would be amazing if it was possible.
I think only if it had no consequences. Like if I could go back in time and not change the future, yes.
But what about changing the past?
I don't want to change the past. Because you don't know that you're going to get, like, think about all the things, like you go back and change the past. You have basically,
Altered.
everything is changed now. You're not going to come back to the same family, the same friends. You might not even exist.
Ooh. I'm going to take you down a dark path. You ready?
Oh, God.
Reincarnation. Now, hear me out. So, I've been thinking about this a
I
lot.
keep hitting the microphone stand.
There's your body, the only thing that makes you, me, is our soul. Everybody has a soul, right?
Okay.
And, I'm only a huge believer in this because I think it'd be awesome. And that's why I think the world just keeps turning. That's what goes on up here. That's the only thing that I can confirm goes on up here, okay? Is the world keeps turning. But, like, there's been like videos and articles and stuff like that of young kids being like, oh well, I remember I was a firefighter, I remember I did this, I remember there was a kid that said he was a part of 9/11, like he was in the building. I think that's cool, but like reincarnation would be so weird because we wouldn't remember this.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be
So that's an interesting, I guess, point to talk about. Like the part of you that makes you you. How does that work with reincarnation?
right.
From my understanding, a lot of faiths that believe in stuff like that, it's more you reincarnate because you you start as like if your soul starts at point A, that's the original version of it, but through your lives you have to learn you have to reach what is it, nirvana. In order to do that, you have to keep moving up,
Right.
or you have to get the better religious understanding each time you live. So it's all about continuing to live until you reach that point. I also saw there was a webcomic, or I don't think it was a webcomic. I think it was like a Tumblr post way back when that was like you
Tumblr.
die,
Oof.
right? Throwback. Like you die in your soul and you're in like whatever the afterlife is and you're talking with like the creator or like God or whatever it actually is.
Right.
And they're just like, well, you're going to be like me one day, but you have to live through everything that has ever lived. So like you live through each person's life that's ever existed and then you become the deity. That was a cool concept to me of like, oh, we really are just like one entity, all of humanity, and eventually at some point through time and space or whatever, you will have reincarnated through everyone.
So like you are me and I am you.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's weird. So what phase am I on?
Who knows? Who knows?
Am I already like? Am I halfway there?
You don't know. This could be your first trip.
Oh God.
Yeah, you could be like. Do you think about that? You
I'm
could
like
be.
I'm the 1%er.
Yeah. You are starting right at the beginning. You got You got all of eternity ahead of you.
That's there's so many different ways to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that scares me is because nobody knows.
No, you
Nobody
don't.
really knows.
I think that's kind of the fun part about life is you don't get to know until it's over. So you're just
but
you just live your life. That's the way I look at it. Like I have no control over it. Like I don't get to know.
right.
That's cool with me. People think they've got it figured out. That's cool for them. I'm just gonna live my life. I'm gonna be a good person. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do, and hopefully at the end of it, if there is something else, hopefully I was good enough. If not, you know what? Hell sounds like it's kind of a party anyway. But I mean, who knows? Maybe you reincarnate and you're just a giant chicken for the rest of eternity. Who knows? Right?
I mean, how would you know any different? You wouldn't because you wouldn't remember what you were before.
Nope.
So it'd be like, oh, cool. I'm a chicken. Like, hi,
Yep.
I'm Jake the cock. See?
Yeah.
Eh, there's
Okay.
just so many ways to go about it. It's definitely that conversation alone could take all of eternity.
Yeah, no, I think that's one of those topics that you could absolutely talk about.
Just go
for
on and on.
all in all of time. It's an interesting conversation.
Oh, where to next? What portal are we going through?
Right? Exactly. Where next?
It's just like we're fighting the raid boss right now.
No, man, don't. God, 2 weeks in a row, we're going to talk about WoW.
No.
It has been-
Actually, we're skipping the World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Nobody
all right,
talks about WoW.
Nobody talks about WoW, but me, you, and Henry have been playing it nonstop for the last like 3 weeks.
It's a game that's not for everybody. Being able to. God, not even WoW in a sense. Like, have you seen the movie Ready Player One?
Yeah.
So
I have, yeah.
that is a concept that I would actually love to see. Like, I know some people are gonna be like, oh well, my life's shitty, so why not have a second one, like a virtual one, be able to create the life you've always wanted. I think that would be awesome.
So, just like our casino conversation, because people would use it as a crutch and it would be an addiction. Something like that in moderation, absolutely. I agree with you. It'd be a really cool concept.
I mean, even
But
as
you'd
a
have
crutch.
people who would spend their entire, it's just like World of Warcraft. People already do this with a game that actually exists, where people just, that's all they do. They stop talking to people. They don't go outside anymore. They don't eat healthy. They just play WoW, play WoW, play WoW, play WoW.
Okay,
They lose their jobs. They lose their families. I mean, it's an actual thing. It's just like any other addiction, Jake.
now, if so, another movie reference. You've seen the movie Wall-E.
Of course.
All right, now when they go up on the giant spaceship, say we do fuck over Earth, which could happen in a few years, but like, what would be the harm in that? I mean, us all floating on our wheelchairs, just it wouldn't be such a bad thing, because you're able to create that second concept of life. Some people don't like their current state of life. Like, You know, if you're unhappy with life, you can be in charge of creating one that you are happy with.
You know, I can see where you're coming from. I still think you get one real life to live in. Just about like our reincarnation conversation. We're doing a lot of circling back today.
Never.
In your with reincarnation, right? You only get one life to live, even if you're going to be reincarnated, I guess, if you believe in that. But like you only have this one chance. Like cuz you don't know that you're gifted something like that. You might at the end of the road when you die, that might just be it. Would you rather have lived in
Yeah,
a
but
virtual world happy or have been happy in the real world? Or do you not think it matters? As
I,
long as you're happy one way or another.
I mean, why would it matter? If, you know, because even if you are living that virtual world and you're happy in that virtual world, if you're happy there, it still comes back to your original self because you're in control of that.
Okay.
And, you know, it could definitely help with mental health and yada, yada, yada. But
Sure.
that's, um, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it definitely is. Especially because I think we're already going. I think we're at like 36 ish right now. I might be wrong. I didn't, before we took the break, I didn't actually grab a timestamp to see where we're at,
time is but a number.
especially right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
I. We're gonna dodge that one. I don't know that I agree with you on that one. I think that's some.
Okay, but you know, you could even go down the path of you only have one life, live it that way, right? So, better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Like, if I were to throw this bottle at your head right now, I would say, Joey, I just really wanted to. I'm sorry, you know? I didn't ask to throw this bottle at your head. I just did it because I wanted to. Like, be that go getter. Go get what you want in life.
I see the point you're trying to make. I, okay. I guess I get it. I'm really lost for words on how to describe what I'm thinking.
It,
It's just poor wording. I understand what you're trying to say,
and that's good. I'm,
but
you know, a lot of people who know me, they don't know me as, I don't know. I guess that is definitely something that I am not sure of because I could just be that guy, you know, standing in the back of the group. Who am I? Who are you?
yeah,
Where are
Jake,
we?
you are never at the back of the group. You are always the belly flop contest kind of guy.
Oh, my Speedo days. Which, that's
That
an
picture haunts my dream. That picture fucking haunts my
that
dreams,
that's an
Jake.
explicit image that will not be shared. I apologize. You had to
No,
be there.
that was, oh my god.
Um,
People keep showing me that picture, and every time I'm like, oh my fucking god.
no, but you know, I definitely enjoy being outgoing.
Yeah, I can tell.
I grew up. I was pretty shy growing up. Until junior high, high school, stuff like that. You know,
Hmm.
I had some traumatic events happen in my life early, like sixth grade early, and you know, it kind of made me realize how kind of precious life is. Going back to the you only get one life, yada yada yada, but I mean, you can't just sit around and let other people decide who you get to be. You gotta do who you are. Do
Hmm.
what you think is right, and if it's wrong, boo fucking who.
Hey, Jake, I don't know if you looked around in this basement. I am absolutely the be the person you are and do the things you want to do kind of guy.
Well, of course, and you know if nobody wants to share that with you, I mean, why does it matter?
Exactly, right? I mean, I absolutely agree with that.
If you're making yourself happy, that's the only thing that matters.
I'm not happy. My happiness does not come from making other people happy. Do I like
Mine
making other
does.
people happy? Yeah. I enjoy being host. I enjoy, having people. I like enjoy giving people gifts, stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, that's not what makes me happy. What makes me happy is making myself happy and I mean, you've seen the house. You know that there's a lot of stuff in here. Is it very materialistic? I don't know, maybe. But I just like seeing little things on my shelf or on my desk that make me happy, and I can pick it up and go, that brings a smile to my face.
That's all that matters. I mean,
I have a Slurpee cup that went to space because I like 7-Eleven and I like space,
are we
and that's cool.
are we 100% sure that that cup went to space?
You know, I don't have any way of actually verifying it beyond what 7-Eleven told me. That's it, because that's from the company.
But
But
deep down in your mind, you're like, "Damn, this went to space."
mhm.
So you're like, "Cool, now I'm happy." That,
Yep.
that's what matters.
So I have the space cup. There's the Legos around the house. I fucking love Legos. I don't know what it is. It's just getting like a couple hours to just like I'll put a movie on, I'll build the Lego set. I feel like a fucking kid the entire time.
It's
It's
because your
awesome.
brain shuts down. That's all you're thinking about.
Dude.
It's a distraction from life.
hmm Like when I will watch, like I'll put on Star Wars because a lot of the stuff we buy for Legos, we buy Star Wars stuff here, and we'll do that. And that's the same thing I did when I was a kid. Was I would put on like a New Hope or Empire Strikes Back, and I would build a Lego set.
Right.
And so now when I do that as an adult, I'm like, oh, it's the exact same feeling.
See, I sadly suffer from. Oh god, the acronym is CRS,
Can't
Uh,
remember shit.
and
Yep.
can't remember shit, jack shit. It and it's definitely hard to describe because like even this conversation we're having right now, I'll have to watch the podcast to even remember what the fuck we talked about because it just doesn't stick. It's just out one year, out the other.
I can already see the audio peak on that one.
Just
For when I'm editing it. Yeah, no, yeah. I can see those now.
it
I'm gonna have to edit those a little bit.
it's a it's a part of life that I love and I hate because there's important things that I don't remember, but it allows me for every time to be a good time. I just love living life like a party when I can.
Yeah. That's a good way to live. I think that's very apparent, especially with you, because every time
Well,
like you're hanging out with people, it's always a party for you.
all right, now think about this. Look at Chris, my brother Chris, same way.
hmm He is.
Now it could be because we both adapted to the lives of fatherhood, but just party when you can.
That's such an interesting thing too, because both of you picked to go into fatherhood.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I think that's such an interesting thing that happened, like pure circumstance that it did. Both of you are fathers by choice. Like and I mean that obviously you have,
Right.
one of your own as well. But you guys both took up the mantle of parenthood when it was not required of you.
Right.
There were no circumstances in life that were like, oh, you've got to be the father now. You guys both were just like, yep, we'll do it. That's such an interesting parallel for the two of you.
See, and my thing is when I first met Joey was like,
Different Joey, by the way. For audio listeners who may not know us in real life, Jake's girlfriend is also named Joey.
but it's spelled Joeie.
We are different people.
Different spelling, different people.
Me and Jake do not co-parent two children.
But you know, she kind of saved me because that was the time I was coming home from the military.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who know me, it was a bit of a rough time in my life, but she turned things around. She allowed me to be myself, which I love being. And you know, she allows me to have my good days and my bad days, and she is still there at the end of the day. And it's great to have someone like that. And when I found out that she was pregnant, it just didn't matter because, if I wanted to be with Joey, so what? The child, it's a package. It's, something that I was perfectly fine with dealing with. I mean, younger me probably would have said fuck no, but
I think a lot of people have that though. Like when you're younger, you're not.
oh,
There's a point where you're willing to take on that challenge.
Oh yeah. And you know, having a child may be difficult at sometimes, but it's another human being. It's like, you know, you're raising someone in a world that you've already partially experienced. I mean, obviously, I'm not 72 years old, been around for 70 years. I've been here for 70 years. I seen that piece of grass grow all the way from here to, you know, type
No,
deal.
I understand.
But
I get the point you're making.
it's just,
You've had the experience. You've grown up. You know what the world is like.
right.
Now you're sharing that. You're helping to guide someone on that journey.
Absolutely. It made me grow up really quick. I had a lot of bad habits when I was younger. I had a lot of I would say a piss poor mentality when I was younger. But you know, this one girl and second girl, Malin, sweetheart sometimes, turned my life around. Definitely full 180, and you know, I can definitely say the same for Chris. He he's a changed man and changed for the better. That's what I love about Mac. I love about Juliet. Both changed his life, and you know, hopefully everybody can find that because it's inner peace, finding your inner peace.
Yeah, you think you found your person in your life?
I think so. I definitely, as I said, you know, there's good days, there's bad days.
Mm-hmm. That comes with any relationship.
If you
Yeah.
find someone willing to work through all the bad days, you struck gold. It's willing to work.
That's words to live by.
And that's the circle of life. The circle of life.
I don't know how many seconds of that you can sing before it gets cut off, but I think on that note we are going to wrap up because I think the video is going to cut out right about now. I may have actually missed that. I miscalculated. The video cut out right before I started talking.
Wrap
So
it before
for
you
the
tap
audio
it.
listeners, if you've never watched the YouTube version, highly recommend it. Very fun because the video will randomly cut out at some point.
And we're just sitting here talking in the mics, staring at each other like star-crossed lovers, but that's about it.
If you guys want to see any of the pictures when we talk about stuff, we post pictures and stuff on the website and on our Twitter. You can find links to our socials. JoeyMoments.com has all of the video versions and audio versions of the podcast. Anything else that we make or put out, you can also find it there. Again, JoeyMoments.com. Links to our Twitter and YouTube are both there as well.
Ciao.